McCoy Stadium has been right here in Pawtucket, Rhode Island for 77 years. She's seen it all. From marriage proposals to championships, the beginning of successful careers for future Red Sox stars, as well as a rehab spot for the current roster. For 5 decades, McCoy Stadium has been home to the affiliate of the Boston Red Sox, 48 years as the AAA affiliate. We're going to take you through the last 50 years in our 4-part Legendary Stories series, presented by Cox. The early 1970s were tumultuous for the AAA Red Sox, as they changed leagues and ownership amid financial issues. But the likes of Carlton Fisk, Cecil Cooper, and Rick Burleson would play in Pawtucket before the PawSox would garner much local or regional attention. That didn't happen until Ben Mondor purchased the franchise in February of 1977, although he didn't want to at first.
Why should I try to bail out a bankrupt business that had $2 million in bankruptcy debt? So they finally talked me into it, but I did not buy the bankruptcy debt, I want to make clear.
Ben's first full-time hire was a young Mike Tamburo.
Came here in February of '77 with about 60 days till opening day. Nothing done, nothing sold. We had an old facility in disrepair. Didn't have time to buy uniforms in 1977, so Haywood Sullivan came down with Boston Red Sox jerseys with the word Red Sox on them, which we kept for the road grays, but we figured with the home whites, why don't we just take off the RED and put PAW so people would identify us as the home team. And that's how PawSox began.
But fans didn't seem to catch on to the PawSox until an 8-hour, 2-day marathon of a baseball game.
What really gave us an opportunity to show what PawSox baseball was all about was the longest game. It started on a cold April night. The light tower in left center field went out. And then a couple of minutes later, the light tower in right center field went out. And then all the lights went out. And of course, we're scrambling in the main office, trying to find the electrician who worked for the city who had wired these before the season started. And thank God we were able to find him, and he came right over. I don't know if he got the one in right center field back on. I think we started the game with one light tower out. But it was foreshadowing that something was about to happen, that this was going to be a remarkable night. The wind was blowing straight in from right field.
At 15, 20 miles an hour. It was about 38 degrees, actual degrees, but the wind chill was at least, in my opinion, in the teens. And we spent a lot of the time keeping warm we had one of those big barrels that oil comes in, and we were actually putting our broken bats and things like that and putting them on fire and keeping our hands warm.
We tied it up in the 9th, and that seemed forever to get to just to the 9th inning. And then we kept playing, and the next thing you know, here it is, the 21st inning, they scored. And again, you know, everyone on the field, on both teams, you know, being competitive as we are, you know, we didn't want to let that go then either.
I hit a double in the 21st inning with 2 outs, and it tied the game, and we're all, we got to keep playing. And now we got to take the field again? Oh my goodness, here we go. And come to find out that we go another 10 after that, or 11 rather, and it was like, we're going to go 11 more after this?
The game was halted a little after 4 a.m. on Easter morning, when the league president finally returned from an eventful night.
What was special about the longest game is it really was played over three days. April 18th, April 19th, which was early in the morning, and June 23rd. And the build-up for the completion of the longest game was just unbelievable. I mean, the players wanted to play in that game like it was the 7th game of the World Series. I mean, they thought that this was their opportunity to get nationally known and maybe give them a chance to get to the big leagues.
It took the PawSox 15 minutes to finish off the Red Wings, with Dave Koza knocking in Marty Barrett to score the winning run.
I've got to hit the ball hard somewhere. got to get that guy in. The bases are loaded, no one out. Sure, there's 2 other guys behind me. If I hit into a double play, possibly just 1 more guy, but I just felt that I had to go up there and do it, you know.
I wasn't see the intentional walk coming. What were you thinking of the on-deck circle?
Well, it was a long wait. It was a long wait in the on-deck circle. But once I finally got up there, I felt like I had my concentration and just hung in there.
With this game, you know, being the longest game in history, and plus with the Major League Baseball strike, and you know, with all the media from, you know, around various states, I think, you know, that really excited a lot of people around here. And it just really pumped a lot of guys up.
The 3 major events that made this ball club was the longest game in 81, the Fidrich-Righetti matchup in 82.
It was the biggest crowd in years at McCoy Stadium in Pawtucket. 9,400 people in a park that holds but 5,800 seats. They were there to see Mark the Bird Fidrich and Dave Spaghetti Righetti.
July 1st of 82, we had perhaps the greatest pitching matchup in the history of minor league ball. We had 2 former Rookie of the Years facing off at McCoy Stadium on a July night.
But for the first 6 innings, the score was secondary as Righetti struck out 12, gave up but 4 hits, and left leading 5-3. Manager Joe Morgan and pitching coach Mike Rourke stuck with the Bird, much to the delight of the fans, and it proved to be a wise move. As the Bird got stronger, the PawSox hit better. Chico Walker, a 2-run shot in the 7th to tie the score, 5-5.
It was probably the greatest spectacle that we experienced here. We had over 9,000 people in the building, but we had, this is in the days when there was parking lots behind the outfield fences. When the game was sold out, we had people standing on their cars trying to look over the fence to watch the game. It was unbelievable.
But the real drama came in the ninth. Fidrich, trying to work his way back into the majors, looked better than ever.
I think it's an 8-5 game. Columbus had 2 guys on, and I believe Tucker Ashford, who was the reigning MVP of the league, was at the plate. Morgan went out to talk to Fidrich, basically told him he had faith in him. He told him to finish the game, and he struck out Ashford. The place went absolutely bonkers.
The crowd was worked into a frenzy. So was the Bird. And then it was over. Strike 3. The PawSox had beaten the Clippers of Columbus, the Yankees' top farm team, and the Bird had his first complete game victory in more than a year.
The 3 major events that made this ball club was the longest game in 81, the Fidrich-Righetti matchup in 82, and then the Governor's Cup in 84.
Facing a 2-0 deficit in the Governor's Cup championship, the team used a little liquid courage to turn the momentum.
We get to the ballpark that night, and the main fans have all got brooms. They had given out brooms to the first 3,000 fans who came to the park. We took the team out to lunch, a late lunch before Game 3 in Maine. And everybody was comfortable. We knew we had nothing to lose. We all kind of sat there and reminisced a little bit about the season, talked about that night's game, and we all had a drink or 2, maybe a drink or 2 that you shouldn't have had. And we went out, and Robin Fuson pitched a very good game, and we won Game 3. So we had life. We're down now 2-1. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we go back to Wormwood's restaurant. We sit in the same seats. We drink the same drinks. We eat the same meal. We go to the ballpark that night, and Mike Rochford pitches a tremendous game. We win 9-2. So now, hell, we got something going. We go back to Wormwoods the following day. We all sit in the same seats, eat the same meal, drink the same drink. And George Messerod, he had an ERA over 5. He was matched up against Jerry Reed, who I think was the International League Pitcher of the Year in 1984. Messerod took the shutout into the 8th. Got the first out in the 8th. Jim Dorsey came in and closed the door, and we win the Governor's Cup with a 4th place team in 1984, and we had the third major event in the history of this franchise, and that kind of wrap the ribbon around the box. Yeah.
Because of that restaurant.